on top of how the cars are stolen. Moving on now, we will stay in Niagara, where more allegations of horrific abuse at the now closed Robert Land Academy in West Lincoln. Today at Queen's Park, former students and staff spoke further about their experiences at the military-style private boarding school, an institution that's facing numerous lawsuits tied to the allegations. They're asking the Ontario government to take further action in protecting students at private schools. Jason Gaidola joins us live with more on this tonight. Jason.
Taz, joined by the Ontario NDP, former students and staff are calling for criminal record checks for teachers, health and safety investigations to be conducted, and for an ombudsman to be appointed to investigate complaints at all private schools.
A few years after Chris's death, my parents decided to send me to the same place that killed my brother. Word quickly spread that Chris Brown's brother was at the academy. I had students telling me how my brother killed himself and it wasn't an accident. I had staff telling me they knew Chris and compared me to him.
Harrowing words from a former student at Niagara's Robert Land Academy today. Michael Brown says his brother Chris and another student were killed after being struck by a train during an attempted escape from the military-style private institution back in March of 1998. One of many allegations describing abuse, torture, and other atrocities at the now-closed boarding school.
It included me having to eat laundry detergent. I received 12 swats, which left me barely able to walk. And I could go on about the other punishments that I had to go through, some of which pale in comparison to what a lot of my brothers have had to go through.
Former students and staff from the academy were joined by the Ontario NDP, demanding accountability at Ontario private schools. The New Democrats say they're prepared to table a private bill on proposed changes, but are calling on the Ford government to impose protective measures.
A requirement that all staff perform a criminal records check. A requirement that all teaching staff register with the Ontario College of Teachers.
Former faculty member John Chris is also calling for health and safety investigations to be regularly conducted and for an ombudsman to be appointed to investigate complaints. The Niagara facility in Wellandport announced its closure this year and shuttered its doors in June, a move the academy says was due to declining enrollment driven by rising costs to attend the academy. Robert Land has been rocked by the allegations for many years, along with reports of students trying to escape, which also included a 2010 story by CHCH News, reporting a student struck and killed by a car after jumping out of his mother's vehicle during a trip back to the facility. Years later, the closed academy is also filing for bankruptcy and faces a number of lawsuits from former students.
And as a result of the bankruptcy filing, all claims are stayed, not just the claims that were already issued, but also any further claims that would come forward. So the trustees in bankruptcy is Deloitte.
Matthew Lefebvre says he's representing roughly 130 clients tied to the claims. He says trustees say the lawsuits are estimated to be worth $135 million in provable damages. He says the bankruptcy trustees plan to conduct an out-of-court process to expedite claims against the institution.
Justice will be served, and I think justice will be served swiftly. We're not going to, there is no scenario where we will stand by and not permit that to happen. So to be clear, we're very optimistic that this bankruptcy proceeding.
None of the allegations have been tested in court. We attempted to reach out to Robert Land Academy today for comment, as well as to better understand its reasoning to file its bankruptcy. No response from the institution. The Ontario Education Minister's office did respond to CHCH News today, and they are disturbed by the allegations. They do tell us that private schools are independent businesses and that their role in those schools is limited. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jason.